For centuries, back to the dawn of time, the penis, the erection, is the symbol of male potency.
We live in a phallic society with all the skyscrapers and the airplanes and the rockets going off.
It's ingrained in us. I mean, you look back through the centuries and, artwork from ancient Africa and Egypt, statues of men with gigantic penises, like that's a sign of virility. You have the ability to create many children to pass along the bloodline.
Your sexual identity is focused around your erection if you're a guy. That's what we've been taught. Put yourself in the place of the guy who has a D. His male identity is gone. His sexual identity is gone. His relationship with his partner is gone. Because all of those things were predicated on the fact that this guy could get an erection.
You're not really a man if your penis doesn't work. Then what are you? I mean, you can't even get that right. You only have one thing to do, and you can't do it, and that was how it was treated for a long time, that you're basically irrelevant.
In the 50s, you have this image of the man who goes to work all day.
It was all about a very circumscribed social structure. So there was no question that the man was in charge in every aspect of culture. There's an increasing awareness of women's rights, the beginning of the insecurity.
Men suddenly were feeling besieged. Men were overcompensating. It started in the 60s and 70s with the women's movement.
Did you mean to say you think I put women down?
Yes, I do. I don't think you give us credit for having any brains at all.
In the 80s, we start to see more women coming into power in terms of their sexuality and in terms of the way in which they're representing themselves as professional, as equal to men, as being able to go toe-to-toe with men.
The men are allowed to go wherever they want. Why can't ladies?
Women gaining more power, I think, had to be met with an enhanced hypermasculinity.
In the 80s, men were on their heels. You had it on radio, the shock jocks. We had Rambo. Come the 90s, you've got men overcompensating by all these phallic symbols in their lives. You saw men smoking cigars. There were cigar bars. It was a big thing. You saw guys buying big golf clubs, these huge metal heads on these titanium shafts. I mean, you tell me what that means. The macho overcompensation and posturing was sort of crazy because men were feeling at sea.
All of this plays into masculinity and the fear that it's just not enough. It didn't pack the punch it once did, and we needed something more.
Viagra came out at a time when the culture was sort of ready for it.
When finally, in 1998, they bring this little blue pill to market, it's a miracle drug.
It captured people in a way that nothing else did, especially during that time.
There was a recognized medical need for a treatment for erectile dysfunction. But erectile dysfunction had been kind of overlooked. There were treatments out there for it, and people were using them. They were horrible treatments.
At that time, there were intracavernosal injections. So that's an injection in a man's penis.
You had to stick the needle in your penis, inject the drug into your penis, rub the penis, wait usually 5 minutes, and you would have an erection.
Intraurethral suppositories, so that's a pellet that is pushed through the urethra.
A pellet in the urethra is easier to administer than an injection in the penis.
And there were vacuum constriction devices and also penile implant surgery.
You went to see your urologist, and he would operate on you and implant essentially a balloon with a little push button right here. When you were ready for sex, you pressed the button, and it literally inflated your penis You had sex, and then you pushed the button, and it went back down.
There was a high prevalence, an unmet need, and a role to play for pharmacologic therapies that would be widely, not only effective, but widely attractive to these vast number of men that were not seeking help because they were disinterested in what was available. The holy grail of sexual medicine is to find a pill, take only when you want it. It's highly effective, it's highly safe. Very few people in medicine ever have the experience of finding the holy grail of their specialty.